You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Roll with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lanes. Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And this is going to be an exciting show, man. We're going to dive into the Texas starting lineups on both sides of the ball. We're going to talk about our expectations of the game, maybe give a little bit of preview to what we think we're going to see, maybe some statistics, throw it out there. We're just going to dive into the whole thing, man. But before we do that, chat, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Super chats, man, for the Buckeye Boys. They go to Teen Challenge and they go to Homeless Vets. So we give that all back to charity to help people out. So we appreciate anything you do there. Mello, how's your day, man?
Man, it's all right. Kind of long. Nothing to write home about. What about yours?
Yeah. Same, man. I haven't even told you this, Mello, but I guess I'm going to admit this on live air. Don't judge me for this, but I just went golfing, right? And I'm playing really, really good. I think I was one under after 4, and I had missed another birdie putt. So that's pretty good for me, playing from the black tees. And I missed my birdie putt on hole number 5. And every once in a while, I like to do a little club toss. You know what I mean? I might toss my club. I get mad, but I'm not trying to break it. It just helps get the anger out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I tossed my putter, man, and it went up into a live oak tree, and it did not come back down. And it's a $400 Odyssey putter. It's the most expensive club that I own, and it's stuck 25 feet in a tree. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be taking my, 50-foot extension ladder over to a golf course and putting up against a tree to go retrieve my putter.
Hold on. How are you going to get the ladder on a golf course without them seeing? They're just going to let you bring the ladder on the course?
Luckily, hole number 5 is like right next to the road that's nowhere near the clubhouse. So I'm going to pull off the side of the road, and it's my freaking putter. You know what I mean? So I got to get that thing, man. But yeah, it's golf is mental, bro. It's the hardest mental sport I have done, because like if you can't control yourself mentally, it don't matter if you're the best golfer in the world, that's going to smoke you, man. But anyway, this is not a golf show, so we're going to spare you guys. Chat, we appreciate you guys showing up. Mark, Russ, Steely, Mika, Shane, Liz, Coconut, everybody. If I didn't say your name, we're thinking about you, and we appreciate you being here, man. Check out the new hat, Mello. What you think, dude?
That's fine. How many new hats did you buy, man? You about to make me go ahead and start trying to buy some more hats now.
I got one more on the way. One more on the way. These are the ones I bought. Yeah. These are the ones I bought from the Ohio State store itself. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that this is one of those fitted hats, and it's a large. It's too small, man. It's cutting off the circulation to my head.
Man, your dome is that big, dog?
Yeah. So I'm going to wear it like this. This is how I'm going to wear it. But anyway,
get a nice
let's dive
into
under there. Yeah, I know. Let's dive into it, man. We got a big-time matchup. Some would say number 1 versus number 2, depending on where you're looking.
Coaches poll. The only poll that matters is 1 versus 2.
Yeah, okay. 1 versus 2. And don't forget, Mello, the coaches poll is not rating the coaches. It's the coaches voting on teams. Remember I made that mistake?
Yep. I do.
That was a long day that day, man. So anyway, a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. A lot of unknowns. Ohio State, 14 guys made NFL rosters, including Josh Fryer, the number 5'10" player nationally, 3-star. right?
Yeah.
Made the Cardinals NFL roster, just to keep you guys in mind. Donovan Edwards, the number 2 running back in his class, 5-star, he got cut. He did not make it. So I wanted to put that out there. That's an example of we can't get too caught up in stars, man. Stars, I still see people talking about that, and I have so much information. You can go both ways with it, but I could talk about that forever. And Rivals also put out an article today about Blaine Bradford on Flip Watch. They're just such a joke. All right, that's out of my system. Back to the topic.
Yeah.
Texas lost 12. They brought in a lot of transfers, so there's a lot of unknowns on both sides of the ball here. You would give the experience a little bit to Texas, I would think, because they got a lot of transfer players. Their quarterback has a little bit more experience, so from that way, you may be able to give it to them. We got a new, fresh faces, but I don't know. That's even up in the air because Kenyatta Jackson, Caden Curry, K-Mac, Edric Houston, they got a lot of playing time last year. They were
Atkinson was a starter in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. So a lot, right? There's a lot of experience on both sides of the ball and a lot of talent. Now it comes down to who can evaluate that talent the best and how's it going to come together and what's going to happen here. So let's start off with it, man. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Okay, so obviously Arch Manning, Julian saying Arch Manning, would he start 1 or 2 games? Mississippi State in another game last year did really well against really bad teams, showed up in the Cotton Bowl against the Buckeyes, played one time and said, no, please don't let me come back in, coach. I want no smoke. I do not want that.
He also played a little bit against UGA, and he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So,
but very talented quarterback. Let's not act like this dude isn't probably going to be a superstar one day. Where, we wear some scarlet glasses from time to time on this show. This is not going to be one of those shows. This is just the truth. Archman Julian saying, I mean, for me, the edge goes to Arch Manning just because of that experience that he got last year. That's it. I mean, and the legs aspect of it too, even though Julian's saying he's quick in short space areas, and that's what you want to be in that pocket. You got to have that short area burst, and I think he'll surprise people a little bit with that. So what's your breakdown of the quarterback position? Where's the edge going to?
I'll give the edge to Arch for right now. Only because of exactly what you said, the experience. But in terms of manipulating the pocket, I think Julian Sayin is going to have a one-up on him. And I do think Julian Sayin has the best talent around him at the skill positions. And I also think he has the best O-line. So I think that can change by the end of the game. But before the game, I don't see how you cannot take Arch. He had a lot more snaps, a lot more throws, a lot more game experience.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I forgot to do, Mello, is talk about the Ryan Day press conference before we dive into this. Do you want to just do that after this show?
Yeah, we might as well do it at the end now.
Yeah, we'll do it at the end. So there we go. I'm keeping track of this. So QB, we're going to give a slight edge to Texas. Let's go to wide receiver, man. Wide receiver for Texas, we got starting DeAndre Moore, Ryan Wingo on the boundary, and then I got Livingston as the other wide receiver there. Ryan Wingo, obviously a very talented wide receiver, but we got really talented corners, Mello. Take this away, man. Tell us what you know about the Texas wide receivers and how we're going to fare with those matchups.
They're all fast. Straight up, they're all fast. DeAndre Moore is going to be key. Whoever's playing nickel for us, whether that's Lorenzo Styles, that's Jermaine Matthews, or Devin Sanchez, they're going to have to be on their toes because DeAndre Moore is going to be the X factor for the wide receiver room. He's going to be key to shutting him down and not letting Arch have that easy, dump down if he's getting pressured. Ryan Wingo, super quick. You go watch the Cotton Bowl. He wasn't 100% during that game, and he's just going to be quicker than you saw in that game as well. And he had LASIK eye surgery this offseason, so he was having issues seeing the ball last year. So he should be able to catch the ball better. Livingston, he's pretty decent. He's solid. I wouldn't be like, oh, he's a first-round draft pick or anything. But in terms of our corners, I think they're going to do very well. They're going to match up, and especially with the scheme. The key, though, to me is DeAndre Moore in that wide receiver, that slot receiver role. Yeah.
We got Styles in there at nickel, or maybe Caleb Downs sneaking down to the nickel position. trying to guard him. So who we giving the edge to here? Do we think our corners are going to be able to win overall, going to win this battle? We know Ryan Wingo, he has the physical capability to get some wins. He's, a couple notches below J.J. Smith, but he's just got that, he's in the Carnell Tate category of wide receivers, to be honest with you. So he's going to make some plays. But overall, are our secondary, our safeties, and our corners, are they going to be able to win out over these Texas wide receivers? What you think?
I believe so. Are we throwing in the Texas tight end with this in terms of just the run, or are we going to take them as their own entity?
Nope. Well, let's do them as their own.
Okay. So in terms of our DBs against the wide receivers, I think I like our DBs in that matchup.
Gotcha.
They're going to have to put in that work. I'm telling you right now, they have to work. It's not going to be, but they should be able to win that matchup.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, let's go to the Texas tight end here. We got Jack Andres. I don't know if that's how you say his name, but Mello, I don't have much information on it. Is he a transfer? He's
a transfer from Cal. In 2 seasons, he had 91 catches, 1,000 yards. He's very solid. He's, I would say, some people will have him on a similar level as Max Clare. I say he's a slight step down. They didn't play the same level of competition. Max Clare played at Purdue. He was literally their only weapon. He got doubled and triple team every single snap. So I'm taking Max Clare, especially in this system, over him. But yes, he's a very solid and formidable tight end. He's going to have to be accounted for.
Yeah. Let's back it up a little bit. We got Colby in here. Colby, appreciate you joining us again. He said, is Iggy going to have the most penalties again? That's the question, Colby. We have the same questions. We obviously are leaning towards no, man. He knows that. He knows if he wants to be a high draft round pick, those have to come down. It's not an option. He didn't go into the draft last year. That was one of the main reasons. He wanted to better himself. So with this coaching staff at Ohio State, with the type of program, and more importantly, with the talent behind Iggy, he knows it's fix it or get benched. You got Devin Sanchez and Aaron Scott waiting right there. And
both number one in their classes, respectively.
Yeah, if you do not fix it, you're getting benched. So even that way, with our depth versus our cornerback depth, we're trying to be fair here. Colby, would you give the edge to your wide receivers over our corners? Like, if you're realistically looking at it, would you do that? Back to the tight ends, Mello. So what you're saying is they got a pretty good tight end, we know Caleb Downs shut down a couple good tight ends last year when he got on them. So I think with this scheme, man, I'm going to give the tight end area, I'm giving it to Ohio State. We have Max Clare on the other side as well. I guess it's kind of confusing with the way we're doing this because we would have to cover their defenders as well, back and forth. But we're strictly talking about the Texas offense right now. So Texas is tight end versus our defense.
I like our defense. I like our linebackers matched up against them. I like our safeties matched up against them. Either way you cut it, I think we have the advantage on the tight end.
Gotcha. All righty. All right. Here we go, man. Actually, let's hit the running backs first. Texas's running backs are good. Trey Wisner was a back last year, added a little bit of weight this year. And then you got C.J. Baxter. We saw Bobby came on our show and told us that he was, getting healthier throughout the year. But then I listen to other shows and they say, no, he's not back. He's not all the way healthy yet. You can tell he's still held back a little bit. But Trey Wisner is a formidable running back here. So, it's hard to judge this one. Their running backs against our run stop capabilities. There's a lot of unknown there. That's just a question we have. But what are your thoughts here in this area?
Well, I'm going to have to take it. I can't really compare because, I have my whole question mark, the only question mark I have about the D-line is how they're going to do against the run. I think against pass, they're going to be elite. So against the run, are they going to be able to stop the run just as well as last year's D-line? That is the biggest question mark for me with our entire team, the entirety of our team altogether. So I have to wait to see. And then I'm not super high on Texas O-line, but I found out a little bit more information today. So I give them a little bit more respect. So we have to see who wins that matchup because without the O-line blocking and creating holes, it doesn't matter who you have. Yeah. So I'll just look at it straight as Trey Wisner is excellent 1,000-yard back last year. He's running, he's quick, he's strong, he's big. He get out the backfield, and Sark likes to leak his running backs out the backfield for touchdowns on wheel routes, try to get that matchup against a linebacker where they have the speed advantage. CJ Baxter, I heard the same thing. He's going to get snaps, but he's not 100%. You wouldn't expect him to be 100%. He tore every ligament in his knee, ACL, PCL, MCL. So I'm rooting for the kid. I'm going to be honest with you. He's a great kid. If you ever get to see his interviews, he's an awesome kid, but I'm not rooting for him Saturday. But other than that, yes. I mean, the running back room is pretty deep, but Trey Wisner, we have to contain it. We have to stop the run. We stop the run, this game is essentially in the back pocket of Ohio State.
Yeah. Mello, I screwed up. I don't know why I went this route with trying to act like the way I started this show is, hey, their tight end versus Max Clare. Their wide receivers versus our wide. I don't know why I've switched to this thing. We're going back to that, man.
Okay.
Their running backs versus our running backs. The edge goes to them in the running back room. They bring back the experience. We got a lot of unknowns. We got TJ Donaldson transfer, but if I'm being honest here, I'm giving the edge to Texas in the running back room, even though I expect James Peoples and CJ Donaldson to surprise a lot of people. I'm just trying to look at this as objectively
as possible
as I can.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, a lot of times we're going to go with what our feelings and emotions are, but today's show, we're trying to be objective.
Yeah.
Straight down the middle.
So we given a QB to Texas, wide receiver Ohio State, tight end Ohio State, running backs Texas. Let's get to the offensive line.
Yes, sir.
You just brought him up a little bit. Let's start with the left tackle, Trevor Gooseby. Very good left tackle, going to be going up against Bo Atkinson and Caden Curry. We had a brief discussion about that. Then we got left guard. I got Nito Yu. It didn't really get much on him. Their center, Cole Houston. Their right guard, DJ Campbell, is really good as well. I think he was voted a top 10 player on the team. And then their right tackle, Brandon Baker. That's the one when I heard Texas people talking about him, there wasn't a lot of confidence behind when they were speaking about him personally, but maybe I'm off there, Mello. What's your take on their offensive line?
Trevor Gooseby is the key. He's coming in injured with an injured hand. If he's not 100%, if he's less than 90%, I expect us to win that matchup. He's legit, though. He's a solid left tackle. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. At least that's what he's projected to be. The left guard, I don't really know a lot about. I think that might be a new player. He doesn't have that many snaps. Cole Hudson, the center, he played 38 games and has 13 starts, so that's pretty good. DJ Campbell, 37 games, 30 starts. So he's very solid. Yeah. And then Trevor Gooseby has 4 starts. But they were all legit. Texas A&M, UGA, Clemson, and Arizona State in the playoffs. And he did very well in all of those games. He might have actually outperformed Kelvin Banks. So he's legit. He's going to be – that's the key matchup for us on that O-line is can we get off his blocks? Can we beat him to the point? So at the end of the day, are we comparing it to our O-line? Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, we are. And I was going to say, man, when I heard Texas shows talk about their offensive line, when they go down through the players individually, it sounds really good. But when they're done describing the players and they start talking about the overall play, it's like, hey, man, we're concerned with run blocking and we're concerned with pass blocking. But then you have the aspect that their D-line is really, really good. Okay, so they're going up against a really, really good D-line. But in the aspect of their O-line versus our O-line, I'm giving this one to Ohio State. We're returning 4 starters that just won a national title with Austin Sarabelt as a left tackle and Phillip Daniels as the right tackle, which Day has talked about twice now, saying that he's going to play a lot. His press conference he just had, he said the same thing. He said, we're not sure how much rotation we're going to do in this game because we need to win, but Phillip's going to play a lot. So I think he gave that one away there. But that's something we had that a while ago and told you guys that's what we were being told quite some time ago. But I've got to give the O-line edge to the Buckeyes here. What say you?
Well, I'm the Buckeyes winning the Joe Moore Award. So, I mean, that's enough said. I'm giving the O-line edge to us against anybody, any team in the country. And that's not the Buckeye blinders. These guys literally had to rotate last year since October 12th in the middle of the Oregon game, first half, when the best left tackle in college football went down in the middle of the game. That also contributed to a major factor in the loss the first time around to Oregon, because as soon as he left, the run game became almost non-existent in that game. So it became significantly harder. So for me, I'm giving the edge to the O-line, which kind of makes you bring back up to the running back room, right? The only reason we're giving Texas the running back room is because James People didn't play that much last year. C.J. Donaldson played at West Virginia. It's not the same level of competition. You have to always factor that in. But if you factor in the actual O-line and what they're going to do, don't be surprised at the end of the game if it's flipped and the Ohio State running back room performed better.
Yeah. I see people in the chat saying, wouldn't it be smarter to talk about the O-line, who they're going against, and what matchup we'd like to. That's going into our decision here, man. This is I didn't think about that before the show, but yeah, this goes into the decision here we're talking about. We're going to go down through every position group, but I like Ohio State's offensive line over your guys' defensive line anyway, and right. I know that's going to be surprising to you because of how good your D-line is, but the O-line is going to be a strength of this team, but we'll get to that when we talk about Texas's defensive line. We'll tell you what we think about that matchup, which we are on to the defense now. I did not miss anybody on the offensive side of the ball, correct, Mello?
Correct.
All right. Let's go with Texas's defense, man. Let's start with their safeties. Going to be rotating safeties is what I'm hearing. We got the free safety, Derek Williams. He's a junior. He was the number 4 safety in the 2023 class. We got the boundary safeties, Michael Taft, the walk-on, surprising, very, very good safety as well. And we can throw the nickel or the star position in. And I have, Mello, the Texas show I watched said the freshman Grayson Littleton was going to start, the number 10 cornerback in the 2024 class, 6 foot, 180 pounds, extremely fast. But you heard something else. So give us your thoughts on the Texas safety position.
I have Jelani McDonald starting. From what the information I gather, he's a bigger nickel, so they like him matched up with Max Clare better than going with the guy you said, the freshman. But yeah, they said the freshman is going to rotate in, but that mainly Jelani is going to get the most snaps. I'm hoping that where you got your information is more correct.
Yeah.
Than where I got
I know. Yeah.
Either way, I really don't think it matters because you go with a big nickel, he's not going to be able to keep up with Max Clare in terms of foot speed. You go with the little nickel, and he's just too small.
Yeah. Well, either way you look at this, man, for the safety position, if you're going to compare him to Ohio State safeties, Caleb Downs should tell you that it leans Ohio State. And it also, if you're going to talk about the safeties against our tight end and our wide receivers, it's still going to go to Ohio State in this category. So I'm going to give the safety position to Ohio State here. Let's go to the cornerback position. We got their returning starter, Muhammad, and the other one is Jalen Gilbo. I think that's how you're saying it. Yeah, no disrespect there. Just don't know how to say it.
Manny Muhammad and Jalen Gilbert.
Those who I have, Muhammad, a very skilled, technique sound, eye sound, a very good cornerback. The other one, Jalen, has the potential, man, but I know that he, from what I heard from the Texas shows, is he struggles with technique and his eye discipline at times. So, when I hear them talk, Gilbo, thanks, Colby. And again, I'm gathering this information from watching Texas shows from time to time. So if you're a Texas fan and you're hearing us bring up starters and we're wrong and you know the correct answer, give it to us, man. Chat. Let us know. Yeah, for sure. Let us know. But Mello, give us your thoughts on the cornerback position for Texas.
Manny Muhammad's a dude, but here's the thing. This is why it's kind of hard to judge Texas's secondary because they don't really play man against us. They won't. They're going to play a complex mixed zone to try to confuse Julian Sayin, try to make them hold the ball a little bit longer to allow their pass rushers to get home. So it's kind of hard to do it that way. But Manny Muhammad is legit. Gilbo, I think if we're doing it like man to man, then obviously their corners are going to get annihilated. The game will be over before halftime, but I don't think that's what they're going to do. So it's kind of hard to do this right now in terms of this format. But Manny Muhammad is very good. He's excellent. Gilbo, he's all right. Like, I think he's slightly above average for me in terms of what we have as weaponry out wide. So if he's guarding Carnell Tate, I like that Carnell Tate matchup.
Yeah.
And I like JJ matched up with anybody. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. That's the thing. When you're looking at their corners versus Ohio State's corners perspective, I don't know enough about Texas's corners to say, hey, Ohio State hands down has the best corners in this scenario, even though we expect Jermaine Matthews, All-American freshman cornerback, to do his job and then some. We expect Iggy to be better with our depth. 2 number 1 cornerbacks in their class, 5 stars. It's hard for me. He said Gilbo's trash. Manny is mid as well. He got cooked by Clemson receivers. Yeah, Quentin, that's what I was told. Quentin, we didn't get an email from you, so if you need us to send your email again, let us know. But and then the other way you look at it is the Ohio State receivers versus their entire secondary as well. The edge goes to the Buckeyes here. That's just where it is, and we're going to see a trend here when we get to this. Let's go to the linebackers now, Mello. This one's going to get a little dicey for some people, man. I got their Sam linebacker. The UTSA transfer, Trey Moore, was an edge, and I've heard they moved him to the linebacker position.
Yeah.
And that he's going to start. I heard some, Texas shows talking about that. Obviously, their Mike linebacker, Anthony Hill, he's a dog. He's a beast. And the Will linebacker, LeFou, he's a junior. He was the number 32 linebacker in his class, which is super low rated. But again, Anthony Hill's a beast, and let's see how this Trey Moore experiment goes, if they're actually going to run him at the linebacker position and see what they do here. What's your thoughts on their linebacker position, Mello?
I mean, their linebacker position, to me, the linebacker and the edge position is their strength of their team, right? That's my opinion in terms of rooms. So their linebackers are legit. Trey Moore is a beast. He played a little bit linebacker against Arizona State. He was making stuff happen. I mean, he had, in terms of production number-wise, he had a fall off from when he was playing at UTSA, but you would expect that because the level of competition has increased significantly. That's going to be the matchup right there. Their edges and their linebackers and how we handle it. And the reason I say that is because PK is a master of scheme manipulation. He will bring them all up on the line, and you don't know who's dropping and who's coming. So it's going to be imperative that people know their assignment. I think this might be a game we might see a lot of 13, 14 personnel, which is something we haven't talked about to handle that. We have extra blockers, and we also have the tight ends that could catch, multiple tight ends that could get out the backfield and catch. So it's something to keep an eye on is what I'm saying.
It's a hard one to judge as well. When we look at Sonny Styles, Arvo Reese, Peyton Pierce, Riley Pettijohn for the Buckeyes, and we compare them to the Texas linebackers. Anthony Hill kind of sets their linebacker room a little bit ahead based off of experience and kind of what he did last year. But then you look at the overall matchup between our O-line, our receivers, and our running backs against their linebackers. This is a really hard position group for me to give the edge either way, honestly. So, I mean, I'm at a wash here. You're going to have to vote here. Are we at a wash here, or are we who are you giving the edge to in this position?
The reason I'm going to go wash, and I know it sounds like a cop-out, is because of PK's scheme, right? There's going to be a little bit of confusion, I think, in the beginning until we figure out what he's actually doing, who he's dropping. But like he said, Anthony Hill is not that good in coverage. This is why I think we're going to air the ball out. I think they're going to air the ball out. It's going to look a lot like the Rose Bowl because Ohio State does not feel like Texas secondary can cover them.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Yeah, we'll get to
that.
I'm
going wash because of the scheme.
Yeah. All right. We got a wash here. We got a wash, man. All right, let's get to the defensive end position. Man, I mean, they got Colin Simmons. They got Ethan Burke, who's a senior. who actually he's a 3-star and he was committed to the team up north. Texas flipped him at the last. And
That's what's up, Texas.
yeah, and they also have Colton Vasek, and they have who's the other Colin Simmons and Zena. They're loaded at the edge position. They are loaded at the edge position. All we hear about is Colin Simmons.
They also got Brad Spence.
Yeah,
that's why they moved Trey Moore to linebacker.
One, but they got. I mean, they have 5 or 6 rotational defensive ends on that team that they feel pretty comfortable with. They got a lot of NFL talent on the defensive end position. But here's the thing. This is what makes it hard to value. When you go defensive end versus our defensive ends, the edge goes to Texas. I'm not blind here. The edge goes to Texas. But then you think about, all right, but our O-line against their D-line. But here's why, for me, the defensive end position still goes to Texas. Because our tackles, Austin Saraville didn't play tackle last year, and we don't know what Philip Daniels / Ethan Onianwa, if you want to think that, we don't know what they're going to do. We think we know, but we're trying to be very neutral and realistic in these evaluations. We know what Texas has a defensive end. They don't have to guess. They know. We don't know. Philip Daniels didn't play a lot at Minnesota. There's not a lot of film to break down of him going in against high competition. You can go watch Colin Simmons in some pretty big games and understand he's got it. So the defensive end position goes to Texas, man. Defensive tackle position. Sorry, Buckeye fans. You're not going to like what I have to say here.
Go ahead. Start us off.
This one might sting a little bit. Hey, I'll start off with it, man.
Yeah.
Hero Kanu is going to be one of their starting defensive tackles. So that's what I was told anyway. I know there's some discrepancy there a little bit. Texas fans in the chat, who you got, man? Is Hero Kanu going to be starting? I heard he won the job in camp. His backup, Alex January, another good player as well. But on the other side, nose tackles, Travis Shaw, transfers from North Carolina, 6'5", 342 pounds. The other DT, Cole Brevard, the transfer from Purdue, 6'3", 340, who beat out Murad Watson, the Syracuse transfer defensive tackle. They are huge. Colby says Hero is rotating with the third team. So,
we're going to hit on that, the rotation aspect, because that is a major important part that we have to hit on.
Yeah.
So what I heard – I'm sorry. Go ahead. You weren't finished. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. So what I heard is that they're going to be rotating every series. Who does that remind you of, Dev? Who tried to do that with us?
On the defensive tackle position?
Yeah, in terms of just D-line, period, in general. Who tried to do that to us last year?
Oh, yeah, the shirt's off, baby. The shirt's off.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
Neyland North. Neyland North. That's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's not a good idea, personally. They're not going to be able to develop chemistry. They're going to get less snaps going against the O-line and set tendencies. I understand and vary why you would do it, because you think you're going to confuse the O-line and you're going to wear them down, but it's not going to happen. I think it's a terrible idea by them. I think that's going to prove not to work. And also, I think a lot of their defensive tackles wouldn't be in our 2D. I'm just being honest. We're not talking about the edge position. We're talking about the defensive tackle position.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be in our 2D. I like how Ohio State played chess with Texas and made them overpay for a freshman Syracuse transfer. And we all know they were saying how Kyle McCord was all American and all this, and thank you for giving us Kyle McCord. He got cut from Philly. So, I mean, really the ACC is terrible competition. So we bamboozled Texas and made them overpay for a guy we didn't even really want, and he's in their 2D. And what I heard was he was going to start. So, I mean, I am not very concerned with their defensive tackle position. I'm more concerned with the edge for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, I agree with you there. To hit on this real fast.
That's funny.
Texas fans
you guys are. Y'all got that oil money.
The Texas fans saying, hey, you drinking from a Team Up North cup. No, man, it's X'd out and it says sucks. And I dip. I should stop doing this on shows, but then I'm like, man, I do this for fun, bro. I do this show for fun, man. I'm not going to stop messing with my beard, and I'll try to be better, right, for y'all. If the regular watchers say, "Hey, Devin, it really annoys me that you got a dip in your mouth on the show," like if a bunch of you guys came together and vetoed and voted on it, I'd probably quit for y'all, right?
Yep.
So you guys can enjoy the show too. But that was a side note. So yeah, this is my spittoon that I believe Dennis sent me this. The guy, my buddy in the chat, man, out there in Seattle, Washington. Shout out. Defensive tackle position. You're going up against the best interior offensive line in the country, and that is Ohio State's interior offensive line. The edge here, it goes to the Buckeyes, man, on the inside. Our starting defensive tackles are better than your starting defensive tackles, but you have more depth. But we have the best interior offensive line in the country. I know you guys are going to yell and scream and say scarlet glasses and all that stuff. No, man, you guys we've given you guys a lot here. Yeah, this is just, it's what we think, man. And that's one of my more confident.
Patrick Houston are better than any combination of defensive tackles you have in your entire roster. It is not hyperbole. That's just a simple fact. It's a truth.
Yeah. So have we missed any position groups?
No. So run it down. Who did we pick for cornerback? I don't think we picked.
We picked the Buckeyes mainly because our wide receivers, man, and also corner to corner, Jermaine Matthews, Iggy, and the depth that we have.
Yeah, I don't think it's that close.
So here we go. Quarterback position goes to Texas. That's 1 for Texas. Wide receiver position goes to the Buckeyes. We're 1-1. The tight end to the Buckeyes. 2-1 the Buckeyes way. Running back Texas. That's 2-2. O-line Ohio State 3-2. Safety Ohio State 4-2. Corner Ohio State 5-2. Linebacker Wash 5-2. Defensive end Texas 5-3. Defensive tackle the Buckeyes 6-3. The Buckeyes advantage with 1 wash. That is us trying to be, take the fan glasses off as much as we can. Now, I will preface this by saying, I don't personally know a ton about Texas. So yes, Texas fans, you guys, you know that, right? There might be, we're not going to agree on these things. This is how we feel right now with the information we have. We know what we have in our room, and we go based off of what we hear your guys as YouTubers are putting out. This is where this list came from. They have a punter, Mason Shipley, transferred from Texas State. He was 30 for 34 last year on his extra points. But when I heard a Texas show talking about him, they said it was kind of a battle, and they're nervous about him coming into this game in front of all these fans and, operating. So we got our punter, Jaden Fielding. Mello, who gets special teams here? Who gets special teams?
That's a wash. Both of the special teams, until Jaden Fielding was hurt, right? He had a great playoff run. You remember the first field goal he kicked in the Rose Bowl, and everybody was like holding their breath, and then he made it. We all jumped up and high five like we just scored a touchdown. So like he was hurt last year. We didn't know about it. So I want to give him the edge, but off of what I've seen, I'm gonna go with a wash. Both special teams are not that good.
Yeah. Man, I can't. Sorry, I got to bring it up. This is what he's wanted the whole time. He's wanted us to bring it up. Daddy Trailbed, that's a big-time Texas fan there. I think he gave the lean in every position group to Texas. We feel you, man. It's passionate. It's going to be a big-time game, awesome game. Believe me, we feel the same. If you want me to do a fan show right now, the only position group you're getting is defensive end. And I might not give you that because I like our tackles. So, I mean, we tried to be as realistic as we could here. But let's talk overall, Mello. You dove into it a little bit. So let's take a step back here and talk about what we think we're going to see here. We're going to see Julian Sand come out. We're going to see a real good Buckeyes offensive line, wide receivers. We're going to see a really talented Texas defense come out. What do you think we're going to do on offense? to exploit their defense? How are we going to put points on the board?
I think what we're going to do, we're going to come out swinging. I think we'll come out throwing the ball. We're going to come out some play action. But the main thing, they're going to try to get Julian Sayin settled into the game. They're going to give him some quick look passes. They're going to try to fill out the defense a little bit. But I know for a fact Ohio State does not think that Texas can cover them, their wide receivers and the tight ends. They do not feel that. So we'll see. Maybe they'll come out and run the ball a little bit, try to establish that, soften up that zone. But if they're going to play the same exact defense that they played in the Cotton Bowl, they're going to get exposed because, believe it or not, even with all that coverage on JJ, if you watch it back, he was open a lot. Will Howard wasn't. His timing was off. Even the one where he threw to JJ, that would have been a touchdown that JJ didn't catch. He threw it too high and he didn't throw it outside towards the sideline enough. If he throws it to the sideline, that's a touchdown for JJ. He had both the players beat, and he threw it up. And JJ actually got hurt a little bit on that play when he came down. So I think there's opportunities for Julian Sayin. People are about to find out that Julian Sayin is really accurate. He has an extremely quick release, and he can manipulate and extend the pocket.
Yeah. I mean, for me, a lot of this depends on what is Julian Sayin going to do. I think Julian Sayin is going to make his freshman mistakes, but he sat beside Will Howard last year, watched him operate. He's got one of the best quarterback coaches in the nation teaching him, and Ryan Day and Billy Fessler, and he had Chip Kelly to learn from last year, and he is surrounded by absolutely elite talent. So I think Julian Sayin is going to do more than enough to get the job done. And I think, as far as the passing attack, I think that's where we're going to find most of our success. But it's interesting because when you look at our rushing attack with this offensive line and our blocking tight ends, man, they have really good pass rushers. But let me ask you this, Texas fans, how confident are you in Colin Simmons stopping the run? And I remember watching last year, he was taking out certain plays because of his inability, right, to block the run. Now, he is an absolutely freak athlete, so I'm sure he spent all offseason working on that particular area. So it's interesting, man. It's either going to be the Buckeyes are going to have trouble running the ball, or I think the Buckeyes have the potential with this offensive line and Ryan Day and Brian Hartline scheming this thing up to come out and run the football down Texas's throat, to be honest with you. And I'm not sure they can say the same thing with their offensive line and the question marks they've had. They can't do it when they're scrimmaging against their defensive line, and we have a similar starting caliber defensive line over here in the horseshoe. So I think that's what we'll see. I think you said it perfectly. I think Max Clare and Brandon Ennis are going to be the key contributors offensively for the Buckeyes in this game. That's just me. And I think we're going to do enough in the run game to be productive and open up the the pass game. Colby, for sure. Yeah, true freshman out there. I know. That's what I'm saying, Colby. Dude's a freak athlete. It wouldn't surprise you one bit if he comes out and can handle his own.
Here's my thing, Colby.
On the run
this is
game.
how I've been answering Texas fans. They said he was a freshman last year. Okay, he was going against all guards. And what people at Texas failed to realize is that you're not the only team that practices and improves. We have legit tackles now. You think they haven't been practicing? You think they haven't been in the weight room? You think they haven't had 3 legit O-line coaches that were literally O-line coaches of different programs that are here coaching them 4 at a time over and over and over? You think the repetition isn't there? You think they don't know that Colin Simmons has his favorite pass rush? I see it. It's just a speed rush, step at you, and then get around you. So you have to hit your point of contact deeper than you normally will. You think they don't know that? You think they haven't been watching his footwork when he was in, where it shows that he has a tendency that you could tell by how his feet are set if he's going to drop in the coverage? You think they're not tracking all this? Like it's not one way, just development on your side. Other players develop as well. But my 3 keys for Ohio State on offense: be able to run the ball, which means dominate the offensive line. ID to pressure is key for Julian Sayin, because we all know Coach Day called him a savant, said he was the smartest quarterback he's coached that has come in as an initial freshman that he's ever coached. So if he can ID the pressure, I think is nothing but bad news for Texas. And then if the O-line can give Julian about 3 to 4 seconds in the pocket so that way he can ID the pressure, he's going to tear them apart in terms of passing. So those are my 3 keys for the offense to win against Texas's defense.
Yeah. Colby, I see in there, has Austin Servalt ever played left tackle? No, he hasn't. That's what we're saying here. I mean, most of this is opinion-based stuff here. Everybody's gonna find out on the field tomorrow, right? This is
Saturday,
right? We're having fun here, talking about what we think is going to happen based off the knowledge that we have. We're Ohio State fans, very confident. Austin Servalt, he run Iron Buckeye twice.
What? Are you crazy? I could pull up a clip right now where you guys are blitzing.
The dude has absolutely been tearing it up in the offseason. I mean, he is a captain, so we're very confident in our left tackle position because of the work that was put in and what the coaches have seen him do. But yeah, no, he's never done it. But you could say the same about every college football player on the field. There's a point in time when they've never done it, but that doesn't mean they're going to come out and be bad at it. So we will see, man. On the other side of the ball, Matt Patricia, man, Texas fans, they're thinking they're just going to come in and just put an onslaught on Matt Patricia and his scheme. They're given a lot of hope and confidence in Arch Manning and his ability to come out and be a superstar immediately. Because I think when you look at their offensive line against our defensive line, the edge goes our way, man. You guys, we heard you all off season. You can't all of a sudden, right before game day, now all of a sudden come up with this ghost confidence out of nowhere. We heard your guys' shows and the whole Texas fan base, the injuries you've went through, a lot of inexperience on your offensive line, and a lot of worry coming out of your guys' fan base. That's not us trying to make stuff up. It is what it is. So Arch Manning and his legs, we'll see what he can do there. We see what he can do when he comes into the shoe. I don't care if it's a noon game. When he comes into that environment, we'll see what he's able to do. Wingo, he has the capability of taking off and taking over at certain times of the game. He just does. So we're going to have to scheme and make sure that doesn't happen. You got CJ Baxter. If he really is healthy, yeah, holy crap. You guys are going to have the ability to run the ball. But more importantly, you guys got Steve Sarkisian, man. So I think you guys are going to be scoring some points. You know, we had the number 1 defense in the nation last year, and you guys put up some points on us in the Cotton Bowl. But our offense was unstoppable last year. So we'll see. I just got a lot of confidence in this defense and Matt Patricia. And, we'll just have to see what Arch Manning's able to do. But if Arch comes out and he is struggling, you guys are in order for Texas to win, I think Arch is going to have a really, really, really good game. Mm-hmm. I don't think the same is true with Julian Sain. I don't think Julian Sain needs to come out and have a really, really, really good game for us to win because of all the star talent that we have on the offensive side of the ball. Max Clare, J.J. Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So we will see, Moore as well.
And like that's why I said Moore is the key to their wide receiver core.
Yeah, so we'll see. You guys got a lot of weapons. We got Caleb Downs. Somebody said Colin Simmons is the best player on the field, not Caleb Downs. I mean, try to tell that to the rest of the country that knows football. I mean, Caleb Downs is an absolute stud. Orville Reese, Sonny Styles.
It's not even close. I'm going to be honest. It's just not close. You guys,
we're going to find out. We're going to see, man.
We could look at the X factors, what Caleb Downs does. Caleb Downs calls the plays out before they're ran because he's such a savant. This is a kid that was drawing up football concepts at 4 with his G.I. Joes and Legos. Like, they're not the same. He's telling the linebackers where the pull is going without much of a telling. Even Matt Patricia's like, how does he even know? How does he know that they were running that? There's other people saying that. Like, he does little stuff. He doesn't have to make the plays because he puts people in positions to make the plays. They're literally letting him call the defense for the secondary in the game. So, like, until Colin Simmons could call the defensive pressures from the D-line, I don't want to hear that BS. Like, Colin Simmons has one pass rush move. If that's still his same game plan, he's going to be neutralized easily. He didn't do yes, he was held last game. We know that, but so were we. So I don't want to hear you crying about that as well. But my keys to the game for the defensive line, our defensive line has to dominate Texas O-line. There's no excuse for them not to. to be honest with you. With all the injuries, the bang-ups that they have, all the new players playing, you have Brandon Baker lined up against KJ. KJ should and will abuse him. That's my opinion. They need to be able to get pressure with just 4 without blitzing. They do that. That's key. And they need to use Caleb Downs everywhere. The nickel, about 6-7 yard depth, high safety. Let them blitz off the edge. Let them blitz through the middle. There's going to be a lot of different things that they can do. And the main thing is just really shut down the run, which makes the RPO in Texas's offense innate. It doesn't work because they want to run RPOs. If you take away the run, the R of that doesn't even work. So you don't even have that threat anymore. You turn them into one-dimensional. Arch isn't going to run that much. This is my opinion because he doesn't like getting hit by Buckeyes. We watched him run the ball once and then leave the game. And they needed him because in the red zone, they needed him last year. He couldn't even come back in the game. I expect him to get cracked a whole bunch of times if he runs. He's not going to run that often.
Yeah, I mean, just an absolute star-studded, packed game that we're going to be. I am beyond excited for this game. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been more excited for anything this year so far. So I cannot. Texas coming into the Horseshoe, first game of the season. I mean, both teams are loaded. We're going to see. We're putting these things on video. We're coming out. We're giving you our takes, and we'll break down our takes after the game. Speaking of that, post-game show on Scoop. Me and Nevada will be doing it on the Scoop directly after the game. So, and then me and Mello will come on probably the following Sunday or Monday and breaking down what we thought was going to happen versus what actually happened. So we're going to find out, man. I'm about to make some people mad, but everybody's predicting a low-scoring game. Not I. I am not. I'm going a different route with it. I'm going 34-24. The Buckeyes get out of there with a 10-point victory over Texas with our offensive weapons that we have and Julian Sand and the fact that it's a home game, first game of the season, the momentum coming off of a national title, everything we've been hearing out of camp, the health of this team right now, the hunger that they have. We will see, man. I got it 34-24 the Buckeyes way. Started a thread on our Twitter, by the way. Whoever guesses the score correctly wins $50. I'll Venmo you $50. But if there's a score already predicted in the thread, you cannot predict that score. So I limited it a little bit. So go check our Twitter out and ask and put your guess in there. See if you get it right. Mello, what do you think?
I want to address this real quick. Quinn says the last 2 years, the only thing that held you back was Quinn. Well, if that's the case, then doesn't that mean your coach held you back? The same coach that's coming in Saturday because he kept putting Quinn in. So you're telling me he thought the better option was on the bench and he didn't want to win the championship that bad, so he just left Quinn Ewers in? I guarantee you if someone gave Quinn Ewers truth serum, he'll say he regret ever transferring out of Ohio State. I guarantee.
Yeah, you got Arch now. We're going to see what Arch can do, but that's
of course your offense is going to look a little different. That's an
interesting thing to think about as well, that, if Arch is so good, why did Quinn play the entire year last year? That's just something to think about, man, for sure. But, Mello, what you got the score to this game being, man?
I think it's going to look like the Rose Bowl. I know a lot of people sitting here sleeping on Julian saying you guys are way high on your defense and you're like sleeping on the offensive line. And if they go 14 personnel, I think you guys are absolutely screwed. I got it 42-21 Buckeyes. I think we're going to put up a lot of points. And you already heard Coach Day came out. He said, we're going to air it out. We're going to play. We're going to have the same mentality of the playoffs. And what happened in the playoffs? They aired it out. They're going to open it up, and they're going to be like, go ahead and cover us. You think you had the best secondary in the country? Cover us. Prove it. They're going to make you prove it. They're going to do a lot of quick passes, get the ball out of Julian's hand. Colin Simmons is not going to get home that often. And you're playing an elite defense. It's going to be crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. All right, guys. Time for the trivia, man. 5-point trivia question tonight. The winner gets a ticket to the Washington game. And now I realize, listen, once this thing gets closer, I'm going to narrow down these winners, and I need to get in contact with you guys because you're only going to have 2 weeks to arrange travel and a hotel. I can try to help you with those things, but if you win, and you want to go, I got a ticket for you. If you don't want to go, I'm stuck with a ticket, so I would really like the winner to go, but I totally understand if you cannot. I'll reimburse you the money that I paid for the ticket, which I think was $230, $240, something like that. So we'll see.
Oh, before trivia.
Our email is the Buckeye Boys. Look, I put it in the chat. Just add @gmail.com after what I just put in the chat. Quentin, email us, and we will talk through email. So, going to be an exciting game, man. But here we go with the trivia question.
Before trivia, real quick. Caleb Downs did a podcast today. He had Ryan Day on. He brought up Julian Sayin, and he told Josh Downs, this team is just that talented, if not more talented than last year's team, and that he expects them to be better than last year and accomplish the same things. And you can see him with a straight face. So there's a confidence of going through this Buckeye team that people don't understand. And Texas is going to find out on Saturday. And then what I found very interesting, he told his brother, because his brother was like, I know Arch, but I don't know. Julian ain't really play. And Caleb Downs was like, yo, Julian's him. But he was like, yo, we got another quarterback named Tavian. He said he is ridiculous. He just skipped over Lincoln. So that should tell you everything you need to know about what we have in a clip with Tavian St. Clair.
Yeah. All right, guys, here we go. This is going to be a hard question. So if somebody gets this right, I'm going to be I would not get this right whatsoever. But whose record did Bradley Roby tie in 2012 with 17 pass breakups in a single season? Whose record did Roby tie with 17 pass breakups in a single season in 2012? What was his name? What was his name? No. That one guy. That's a good guess, Troy. Good guess.
Definitely not.
No, not Sean Springs. Not Doss. Both these questions are really hard, by the way. So Troy said the other guy. No, not Jordan Lewis. It's not him. Sean Springs was an option. Who tied Roby's 17 pass breakup as a single season record? Yes, the answer was Ahmed Plummer.
Nobody was getting that.
No. Here we go with the second question. Let me tell you this before we go.
We heard that before,
this
Brian.
Is the answer to this next question is more than 60, but less than 100. So remember that. More than 60, less than 100. Maybe somebody can guess this right. How many times, and I think this book might be a year old, so I think there's one missing from this, but how many times has Ohio State returned an interception for a touchdown? How many times has Ohio State returned an interception for a touchdown? The answer is more than 60, but less than 100. Guess correctly. No. Everybody too low. Everybody too. Ooh, Hawk City. Hawk City's getting there. Hawk City's getting there. Uncle Bubba's getting there. $69. Nice. Ah, dang. OSU Nut and Geo. They didn't get it, but they were right there. Dang, where'd all these people come from, man? Everybody guessing. Ain't nobody gonna get it. It still ain't nobody got it yet.
They didn't catch on when you said Uncle Buck and Geo were right there.
Dang, OSU Nut as well. So close, man. Geo, so close.
All right, that's it. I got to give him an extra 10 seconds.
All right. Yeah, the answer was 87. Matt just got it, but how many times did you guess, Matt? All right. Somebody will get this one. Somebody's going to get this next one right for sure. The answer was 87 times, and I believe Gabe Powers did it last year. It probably makes it 88. We had one interception return for a touchdown last year, to my recollection.
We did.
The answer was 87, which now the answer is 88. Here we go. Including Woody Hayes, how many coaches have the Buckeyes had since hiring Hayes in 1951? How many coaches have the Buckeyes had, including Hayes, since 1951? Nope, it's not 5 stars, not 6, not 4, not 5. It's not 6. Matt got it.
Yeah,
dang,
man.
the natural.
Who the coaches? Did they name them?
The natural was so close, man. Right behind him. Matt, you got it. The answer was 7. Let's see, Matt. Are you on the list? Is Matt on the list? Matt, I don't see you on here. I think that's your first question you've gotten correct, right? Yeah, because I don't see his name on here. Yo, the natural, shoot me a call right after this, if you would.
Oh, Quentin hit you up on the email just to let you know.
Did he? You already did? Cool. Lucia, I don't know if that includes.
Oh yeah, Quentin, good call. I forgot about that. Luke Fickle, he had the one little interim head coach stint.
Yeah, they must be counting him. That's why everybody said 6. So, yeah, they're probably counting him. All right, y'all. We appreciate you guys. Tune over to B Moses, and it's actually funky tonight. I know I told people it was funky yesterday. It really is funky tonight. So, tune in tomorrow. More trivia questions. I don't know what we're going to dive into yet. Well, I do. We're going to talk about Texas, Ohio State. Might just do a fan show and really let people know exactly what we think.
Colton, come on.
So,
come on tomorrow, man. We're gonna drop the link in the channel. Come on the chat, baby.
Yeah, tomorrow, 7:10. We'll put the link in the chat. Texas fans, we welcome you to have a discussion. No cussing, no personal attacks. We can handle you saying Ohio State sucks. Ryan Day sucks. I can handle you saying that. Mello, I can't account for Mello. He might kick you off the show. I don't know.
We dropped the link, the live link directly in the chat. You just click it and brings you on, and we'll pull you up on stage.
If you don't want to show your face, you can just hit the camera button and it won't show your face.
Yeah, if your face is going to lower our attendance and viewership, please turn off the camera. You Texas fans.
Quentin said he's going to be here. That's great. But on that note, we appreciate you guys for joining the show tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Buckeyes. OH.
I.O. baby. Bucks by 50.